presenters that have submitted their papers, different kind of research across board. And say Dr. Taiwo Adenegan Alakinde. Dr. Taiwo Adenegan Alakinde, are you ready for your presentation?
Thanks so much. I do appreciate it. I am Dr. Adenegan Alakinde Taiwo, and my co-presenter is Dr. Adeyemi Adejumo from the same Department of Biology, Adeyemi College of Education. The topic for this presentation is restoration of urban green space. A urban green space, a case study of Adeyemi Federal University of Technology, Education, Ondo, Nigeria. It is a brief report about the activities we carried out on the space some few months ago. And to start with, I want to describe a green space as an open space that is not built up. It could be a garden, it could be a recreational center. It also includes areas like hills, valleys, lakes, oceans, and even groves, what we call grooves. So this particular green space is located in front of Adeyemi Federal University. It's a setback between the college, the university fence, and the road, or Benin Ondo Road. So that setback is a green space that was created sometimes in 2008, but along the line, the space has been abandoned, probably due to change in management and different and there hasn't been much of monitoring and then monitoring and maintenance of the place. So what we observed was that after a long period of time that the work has been abandoned, we have so many there were so many plants that grew up there. They became so unkept, such that the place has lost the initial aesthetic value. And even when you are approaching the college, you find it difficult to know that there is a college existing in that area. So that was what necessitated that drew our attention to it, and there was a need to restore the aesthetic value of the environment. And after taking permission from the university management, we were allowed, and the restoration was sponsored by the management. And what we initially did was to look at virtually survey the area, which was an on-the-spot assessment to find out what is actually there. When you see the field from far off, you may not be able to make the right judgment. So we moved in, looked at it, and then we looked at the kind of intervention we needed to look at. So we started then. When we started, there was an initial look on so let's move to slide 7. So the slide 7 is the initial look of the environment. If you see the slide, we could see that the whole environment became very bushy because of lack of maintenance and proper monitoring. you could you could see the fence of the university covered with outgrown um, plant materials, which makes it very which makes it very unaesthetic. Then the walls, a close look at the walls showed that there was this crack due to dampness. Sunlight couldn't penetrate, so you have damp walls that could easily that will break off, will fall off anytime. And then you could see this dirty environment too, that you have miscreants bringing in a lot of dirty things into the system. And then even because of the close canopy of the plants, you find that the shades have been created on the floors, which has resulted into loss of some of the biodiversity of the plant. That is what you can see in plate B in the pictures. This area has no grasses again due to loss of biodiversity as a result of the shade created by the closed canopies, and even the closed canopies provided shade for migrants. So that was the basis. Even if you look at this last slide in this plate, you see this is a madman here that has his housing under the tree. So this place looks so much unkept and unaesthetic. That was why the intervention was carried out to ensure the place retains its beautiful environment that it used to be. So we started with cutting of the trees. We started with the cutting of the trees and removing the weedy shrubs. We removed the weedy shrubs. This plate is showing some of the interventions we did. You can see the felled trees, then the removed shrubs, and even we have to do some construction on the drainage to the drainage collapse leading from the college pass through the field, and then we have to do some construction of the damaged drains, and then we have to do excavation, remove and manual excavation of the flooded area to provide space for the water that passes through that place to have a path. So these were some of the interventions we made. And then while we were working when we roved after rolling inspection, and we discovered that the area consisted of a good number of regenerative roots which started sprouting, especially for the lawn grasses. So especially for the lawn grasses. So we kept on observing, and then we kept on clearing as some of the weedy species were growing. We were removing manually with the help of laborers. So by the time this report was being filed, this is the state of the field. We have removed the tall trees. We have planted slow growing palms at some points, and then this is the outlook. The gutters have been cleared, and then the channelization of the flooded part to join the drainage under the road, so that there will be easy flowing of water when there is laying off from the college draining. So A regular weekly monitoring has shown that we have achieved 70% of the greenness, and then the plants that were planted are being established gradually. So this restoration has shown that when there is a availability of regenerative plant species, especially in case of lawn grasses, restoration of a green space will not be too difficult to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adenegan Alakinde, for that wonderful presentation. So the difference between this session and the other sessions that we're having is that these are research papers that are subject to feedbacks from the audience, and are also subject to so we're supposed to help improve the research work. So for me, my question is, what are some of the long-term sustainability plans that have been put in place for this project to be sustainable? Because I'm not sure if you mentioned that how many months it took for the restoration to take place.
Okay. It was almost a year program. We started around September 2022, and then we ended up around August 2023. So for its sustainability, we suggest close monitoring and maintenance. But that was what it lacked initially, that there was no close monitoring and there was no maintenance. And that is the general problem with green spaces in Nigeria. We are always quick to start a green space, but to monitor is a challenging thing to the green space owner. So that is one aspect of it. And then we suggested to the university that a committee that can be described as a park and garden committee should be put in place to ensure monitoring, not for only that place, but the other green spaces within the university that are not properly monitored. But what gave us concern about that place is the first thing people will see as university premises, and it gave us it gave an impression that these people are not too serious. So at times people will ask questions: is there any investment? We suggested that, and then that we should create awareness among our stakeholders, the staff, the students, and even the community, because even the community around us, they always use this place as hideouts for defecation and urinating, and so that awareness has to be created. Even some of our students use it as path to their homes instead of passing through the roadsides. They feel it's safer to pass through that area. So that awareness has to be created so that everybody will know that it has to be maintained appropriately.
Thank you, ma'am. So has the committee been set up for this project, for the sustainability of this project?
Yes, but yes, let me put it yes.
All right. So lastly, it's a University of Education. So we hope that most of this research can translate into action. So how do you intend to incorporate restoration programs into the curriculum of students, not just biology students, but students in the university generally? Are there courses that touch on that, or are there new courses that can be incorporated into the curriculum for restoration activities? For instance, there's a university that says that I forgot the university in somewhere in Nigeria, that's for every student that is matriculating, they have to plant. So the day of the matriculation, you have to plant a tree. So that way, and in the space of about, I don't know, maybe 4 years, they've planted over 12,000 trees. So are there programs like that in the university, or are we open to have this kind of program?
For now, from all I know, there hasn't been.
Okay.
And we keep on talking. And we'll keep on talking. And I think one major challenge is that the vegetation of an area, if you have to put in people that have the technical know-how, no, that is when people can make some transformations. No, when people that know little or nothing about vegetation are put into community places, it will affect the result. I think that was what happened initially, because the right set of people were not put in to do the maintenance and even the monitoring. And as a person, I am a plant systematist, and even while teaching, I tell my students there are a lot of botanical endeavors you can be involved in, and and this is one of such botanical endeavors that our students can put in now or even after their education, which are of economic value to the learners or to the students.
Thank you very much for that wonderful insights. So this will be the end of this presentation. If there are any more questions, please feel free to put in your email address into the chat box. So if there's anybody in the audience that would like to collaborate on those projects, maybe to make it bigger, to make it more scalable, or maybe you want to replicate it in your university, please feel free to contact the presenter. Right now.